patchwork is an ancient Korean sewing technique. And the one thing that is special about it is it often has reversible seams and is traditionally made with silk and hand stitched like this piece that I have here. But you can see even the patchwork is totally reversible. There's no right or wrong sides on the seams and all the raw edges are tucked away inside. This technique can also be done by machine. And you can see in these window hangings behind me, if you use batik fabrics, it just glows like stained glass. If you're a regular Western quilter, this seam technique will be different than anything you've tried before, but it's still quite fun and doable. So I'm going to show you this simple method of how to do a pojagi seam. Enjoy! The simple pojagi seam method is used when you're just joining two pieces of fabric. Place the two pieces together, but offset the edges by approximately 1/4 of an inch or just a little bit less. There's no exact seam allowances in modern pojagi, so this can be quite freeing and fun once you get used to it. Then we're going to stitch along an approximate 1/4 inch seam on this piece. You can often use your presser foot as a guide for the width of the seam. So there we have this stitch, and this is approximately 1/4 of an inch. It doesn't have to be exact. Next, we're going to move on to pressing, which is a little bit different than regular quilting. There are 2 steps in the pressing. The first step is to fold over this raw edge and press. Then when that's done, we're going to open the seam and press, being careful not to unfold the part that you just pressed down. And you'll probably want to press this on both sides. Some people find it easier to switch the order of these. They do the open and press first and then tuck this edge under and press. Some people even like to use tiny dots of glue to help keep this edge down. Whatever works for you. But when you're finished, you'll be able to see all the raw edges are tucked inside. Now we're going to top stitch right along this edge of the fabric. And there we have the seam. It's a totally reversible seam with no raw edges exposed. You can use this in a lot of different patchwork projects. If you're a dressmaker, you may recognize this as a flat fell seam, which is traditionally used in blue jeans and other clothing projects. So it is a well-wearing seam. If you're curious to try this, you can find lots of tutorials and projects that use this and other quilting techniques at epidastudio.com.